A very good morning and warm welcome, my dear students. So here in this video we are going to learn about the very important chapter from history, that is Vedic civilization. Okay, this is the integral part because we will discuss about here in this chapter we will discuss about the Aryans. Okay, and the very important religious textbooks of India like Vedas, then epics of Ramayanas, the Mahabharatas. Okay, so it is going to be quite interesting. We will by the end of this chapter we will be able to understand the life of the Aryan. Okay, their lifestyle, their way of living, their economic life, their political, their religious life. Okay, so if we will trace the history of the Aryans, okay, how they started coming to India, then you all know that Harappan civilization, the advanced Harappan civilization, was from year 2500 BCE to year 1500 BCE. At in 1500 BCE, the Harappan civilization comes at a stagnant point. Okay, then the Aryans people they began to arrive in through different waves. Okay, uh, they started settling in the region known as your Sapta Sindhu region. Sapta Sindhu region, this is the land of your seven rivers, and they renamed is as Brahmavarta, which means the land of the gods. Okay, first when Aryan they started coming to India, they had a concord with the indigenous inhabitants, Dasas and the Dasyus. Okay, and they took control over their lands. Then they gradually started settling into this northern parts of your India. The present location is here almost Haryana and Punjab. Okay, in this way they have the early they have settled uh, in this part of India known as the Sapta Sindhu region. Most of the historians believe that the Aryans were the nomadic people from Central Asia. As they moved towards the India, in India they were considered as the Indo-Aryan. Okay, once they entered to India, the Aryan people they used to be recognized as the Indo-Aryan. Okay. You all can see in the map this this region is your this region was for your early Vedic and this for your later Vedic period. Okay, later Vedic period we will discuss later. First we will focus on this early Vedic region only. Okay, now next is our literary sources, which is very important. Okay, if we see the literary sources for this civilization, we have a very important Vedas and the epics. Okay, now we will discuss the Vedas. Okay, our chief source of information about the early Aryans, that is Vedas. The Vedas, it is a Sanskrit word which means the knowledge or wisdom. Okay, we have four types of Vedas, that is Rig Veda, Atharva Veda, Yajur Veda and Sama Veda. Okay, and all these are compiled of your compiled or collection of your rituals, hymns, teachings and the poems. Okay, then apart from this Vedas we have books, that is a Brahmanas, Upanishad and Puranas, and the very famous two epics known as your Ramayana and Mahabharata. Okay, one thing you understand is that this Vedas, okay, each of this Vedas was first composed verbally over the verbally. Okay, verbally over the hundred of years. Okay, then it was orally handed over down to generation. Okay, this was continued for the several years or several century before they were finally recorded in a books. Okay, so in this how this Vedas were passed from one generation to another generation orally, okay, till it was recorded in a book, okay. Okay, all these sources of literature, this is very important because this tells us about the great deal of the economic life, political life during this period, okay. We will come to know about so many things from this Vedic literature, so literature of that during those period, okay. Now let us see the political system, okay. The political organization, on the hierarchy of the political organization, we have at the top the Rajan. Okay, before Rajan, you need to understand the Aryans were organized into many tribes known as their Jana. Okay, each Jana consisted of a number of the village known as their Gramas. Okay, the Grama was composed of the number of the families. Each village was headed by a Gramini or the village headman. Okay, you see the Rajan was the ablest or the strongest among the tribes, okay, and he was elected by the people of the people of that area, or from the whole member of that tribes, okay. And what is the work of the Rajan? He kept the enemies away, okay. He is also the spiritual leader, rule according to the wishes of the tribe. That means there was no autonomy, or the Rajan was not in a absolute power. There needs to be a consent of the people, okay, in each and every important matter. And the Rajan was always assisted by the many officials, okay. Who are the officials? Like Purohita or the priest, who performed the religious ceremony, or he was a chief advisor to the Rajan also. Then we have a Senani, okay. Senani is another important part of the political organization, as he was the chief in commander, leader forces during the war, okay. I already told you that Rajan, he was not in absolute power, okay. The people had a great role to play in political organization in the Aryan society, or in the early Vedic period, okay. There was a two assembly known as their Sabha and Samiti, okay. Sabha was a small assembly where important members of the tribe, they will advise and guide the king regarding the important matters, okay. Then there was another important organization known as Samiti. This is the large assembly where the Rajan needs to seek the opinion on important matter given by any member of the tribes, okay. Then another important political features, you see, there was a good position of the women, okay. Women were given equal opportunity in the political matter of the society, okay. They used to take part in all the decision, they used to take part in all the ceremonies in the during this period, okay. So this is the political organization. To remember the Rajan, okay. Rajan was elected among the tribes. Then Sabha, Samiti, whom are also very human. So this was the political setup, or the political organization of the early Vedic periods, okay. So in the next video we will discuss about the social, the political, okay, their economic life. So we will focus on those part, okay. This is this much for this part. Thank you, keep watching.